What's good? It's good. I want to talk about animals and energy, I suppose. Need my water. Right? Like dogs, cats. They're typically the common animals we see every day, we interact with, we live with. And they have a certain type of energy, right? They have what you would consider like a pure energy. Yeah, they could be mischievous and whatnot, but they're not, they don't exhibit like the evilness you see with humans or beings with higher consciousness, where we have the ability to make that choice of good, evil. Animals are also really good at reading energy. There's a story like in the Bible with, I think it was David, how he was sent. He's basically sent into the lion pit, and typically that's where you go to die. You're gonna go get eaten by lions. However, let the dogs out. We see a squirrel. I know it. Yeah. So David goes in the lion pit, right? And what happens? He doesn't die. And why is that? It's because of his energy, his thoughts, his pureness inside himself is what saved him from being eaten by lions. See, a lot of 90% of communication is nonverbal, right? So then what is it? It's your body language, it's your eyes, it's your heart, it's even your thoughts. I'm sure there's been times where you've been around other people and you feel uneasy in their presence, or you get a bad vibe or bad whatever. I'm sure women experience this too, especially like around men, right? That's the whole thing with the sexualizing women and why it's awful for you if you want to attract women. It's because women are deeply intuitive. They can feel and sense when they're being objectified. And frankly, it's a turn off for a lot of women. So that's why when you're in a conversation with a woman, keep the sex out of it. Don't even let that thought come into your brain. Be genuine, be authentic, be all those things. So back to David. Based on David's energy, because he wasn't speaking to the lions, he wasn't communicating with them in any way. Those lions recognized something within him that made them not eat him. Why is that? Well, one could speculate that they recognized him as something. Maybe not equal, or maybe not this, but they recognized that pureness within him, like that childlike energy. I'm not saying a child wouldn't get eaten by a lion if you threw it in a pit, but basically the story is about the importance of energy and the way you carry yourself, especially around others, especially when nobody's around. They say character is who you are when nobody's looking. My personal philosophy and the way I live my life is I act all the time as if somebody's looking. And that's why I think God can come into play and be an important role in that aspect, because how would you live your life if your ancestors or God were always looking at you? They're always looking, seeing each and every action, every thought, everything. Imagine you had no privacy. How would you live your life? You would live your life extremely different because of shame and guilt and everything. So I think it's extremely important to live your life as if as if you're never alone. Because people sense that. People can sense when you have good energy, when you have bad energy. Maybe not everybody. Maybe you can't. But people can. And even subconsciously, it will affect their actions towards you. Whether you believe it or not, it's true. Talked about this a few times, but impacting, influencing your inner world to reflect your outer world. And once I started doing that, my life truly changed. I mean, I meet incredible people and have incredible experiences every single day. Now I expect that almost, right? I expect to have incredible interactions and meet fascinating people and have interesting conversations, because that's what's going on inside me. I'm a big supporter of returning to childlike energy. Not always, but I think you need kind of that duality of letting your inner child out for people to see. All right, so it's basically rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. It's not exactly it, but you need to have the both. You need to be able to be the gardener in the garden, but also the warrior in the garden. Because if you're missing one of them, if you're missing the warrior in the war, a lot changes. Your confidence isn't as high as it needs to be. You're not protected. You're not safe. I mean, I could ramble on about why it's important to be strong, be dangerous, be all these things. Purifying your energy is one of the most important things I believe you can do. More important than any amount of money you make in your life. More important than maintaining current relations. I can name so many different things. I'll talk about this a bunch, but Nikola Tesla said, you understand energy, frequency, and vibration, you understand the world. And I believe there's a lot of truth to that. Because I've said this, people are just energy vibrating at a certain frequency. That's why you resonate with some people and why you don't resonate with others. Even something like marijuana resonates at a certain frequency. That's why it has shape, it has form. Same with everything. Matter. I had a buddy ask me, because I've trained, I've done jiu-jitsu, I've boxed, I've done little this and that. And he's just like, what should I do? Like, I want to be able to protect my daughter. I want to be able to feel confident, do all these things, blah, blah, blah. Like reasons why people would get into it. I want to be able to defend myself. I'm like, yeah, boxing's great, jiu-jitsu's great, Muay Thai's great, MMA's great to learn the skills, right? But in my opinion, the most important skill you can have to de-escalate a situation and to avoid an altercation altogether is confidence. Because people sense that. People can sense if you're not somebody to be messed with. People can sense the fear and the weakness in you. And you see this with kids too. I had a conversation with my mom the other day, and she was talking about how a kid got hit in the face with a dodgeball, started crying, and came down to her office and was complaining and crying and wanted to talk to her mom. And guess what happened? The next day, he started getting bullied. Kids started a little picking on him and saying mean things to him, harassing him, etc. And why did it start there? Why didn't it start before that? It's because the sharks smelled the blood in the water. I'm a deeply emotional person. That's why I present myself in a way to not get taken that to not have that be taken advantage of, like a shield. But yeah, once people smell that weakness in you, it's very, very hard to not get taken advantage of or bullied or etc. It's just human nature. Whether you like it or not, it is what it is. There are people out there that will take advantage of you whenever they can. That's why you have to become confident. You have to become dangerous. You have to become this, that, or another. Jordan Peterson, right? He said, I can't name the quote, but he's like, you have to become dangerous and then learn how to control it voluntarily. Um, I was gonna say go insane, but I think you have to lose yourself in order to gain yourself in some regard. And that's why it's important to have people around you, supporting you, to always have that metaphorical or rope tied around your waist between the abyss and reality. So yeah, purify your energy. It'll change the way people interact with you, animals, humans, etc. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's get it.